Only been a few hours, but it feel like days. Only been days, but it feel like months. Been gone for a year, only know like once. Life move fast when you do what you want. I guess I'm doing what I want.
Alright, so let's get into this story time today. So today I'm going to be talking about how I found out I was going to have brain surgery. So first and foremost, I just want to thank everybody that has subscribed to my channel, like, comment, share with somebody who might be going through this or, just want knowledge on it because they have a loved one going through it. But, yeah, I think I'm gonna like doing story times because story times are, I don't know, it just seems like it's more authentic. So I think, me just talking about my life and being transparent about the things that I'm going through, the obstacles that I'm running through, because my life is not perfect. I feel like from 2020 to 2024, I have been overcoming obstacles. My voice gone. But today my energy may not be like normally my energy is, but maybe it might be because as I get the recording and talking, I might get more pep because the past 3 days have been kind of up and down. But so let's get into it. So I'll say the name of my diagnosis is Chiari Malformation type 1. And I found out I had this condition October of 2023. Long story short, play out. Let's give you how Saturday night, I feel like around October 8th, went to my best friend's house for a social gathering, had a couple drinks. Sunday, woke up, thought it was a hangover because I was feeling sluggish. So I kind of was just like, oh, I'm going to just write it off. Which, by the way, I absolutely hate hangovers because of the way they make me feel. Like, that is the number one reason I don't drink the way that I used to, because hangovers are no fun. But Sunday come and go, Monday comes, and when Monday come, I start feeling like, my body is trying to come down with something. And other people may experience this too, but my body just felt like I was having chills and just overall not feeling good. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna take some cold and flu medicine because maybe I'm trying to come down with the flu or something, a cold or something. Well, it did not get no better. Tuesday, I went to the doctor, the ER, because by that time, Tuesday, my headache came. And when I tell you my headache came, it came. Like nothing I was taking was helping. I mean, it was not even moving it, putting any relief in it at all. I was taking everything, and I do mean everything. My last resort was going to the smoke shop to try to get a gummy to try to relieve my pain. That did not even relieve my pain. And so I went to the ER. When I went to the ER, they tested me for COVID and the flu because obviously it has to be COVID or the flu. Those came back negative, so they sent me home with ibuprofen. It was the most expensive ibuprofen that I have ever taken in my life. But that's what they sent me home with because everything looked good. They didn't know what else. Let me go ahead and say that I have come to learn in my experience, you cannot trust everything the doctors and the nurses say because they don't know. They don't know it all. And so on Tuesday night, that whole night, I was taking medicine. My boyfriend had went and got me Theraflu honey or something like that, NyQuil honey or something, and I was taking it like I was not waiting the time frame to take the medicine because I was in so much pain. I was taking it. Every footstep that I took, my head just felt like it was something coming out of my head. So we woke up Wednesday morning and he was like, you're going to the emergency room. Like, No, because he knew something was wrong. Because, like, you can't sit here and keep taking medicine. And I'm the type, I don't like to take medicine. Overall, I'm healthy. I've never had surgery, stitches, nothing major at all, thank God. And I'm 39. So went to the doctor, and I'm so grateful because I prayed before I went there, like, for somebody, anybody that truly wants to help and not there for a paycheck. And the doctor that I got, he was like, you know what, we're gonna find out what's wrong with you because you don't look like the sick type. And I was like, thank you so much. But I was in so much pain I couldn't even really thank him. But I was like, thank you. So they ran all your regular tests. They sent me for CAT scans, all that stuff. Everything came back normal. So the last thing and then for them to get my headaches under control, I was on everything. They were giving me that's how intense the headaches were. Like, your regular typical medicine that they would normally give, I guess on a pain medication level of a 1, it wasn't working. So they had to put together a conjunction, like combination of stuff to get my headache under control. And they came and they told me, I won't forget, they came and told me like, oh, the last result, because all your tests and everything are coming back good, you know, so the last result is for us to do a spinal tap. Now, I have a lot of tattoos, so somebody might look at me and be like, she don't care about pain. Like, she has tattoos everywhere. But with my 2 children, I would not get the epidural because I'm like, there's no way in the world you guys are sticking a needle in my back and you want me to sit still while you're doing it. It's not happening. So I wouldn't even get the epidural. So for them to come and tell me I had to get a spinal tap, not gonna lie, I was like, because everything was happening so fast. I'm like, you're gonna stick a needle in my back? I don't even know how I'm gonna do this. But he was like, I got you. I can tell you're nervous. You know, everything's gonna be fine. And when I say they immediately rolled, they didn't even give me time to think about it. They immediately rolled me in the room. 2 nurses came. One, you know, I guess was a support system. One held my hand. The other was at the foot of the bed. But it really wasn't bad. Like, he stuck me. He was like, I'm gonna stick you with a smaller needle in your back to numb you. I'm like, oh, okay. I didn't scream. And the nurses, they were like, you did so well. I was like, oh, y'all have no idea. I thought I was gonna light this emergency room up. But I did good because it wasn't bad. And it could be attributed to the fact that I had a really good doctor. But he got the fluid from my spine. Probably 10, 15 minutes later, they came back like, oh, you have meningitis. And I'm like, meningitis? So they're like, you have to be hospitalized. They isolate me immediately. Everybody has to wear a mask. You can't come in my room without a mask. Like, when I tell you everything was going so quick, it was going quick. So they hospitalized me. So that was another trauma. I'm gonna call it a trauma. That was another trauma I had to go through because I feel so bad for people who have to be hospitalized because that is not, I found myself, and I'm not a person that's depressed no matter, and I've been through some stuff. I don't get depressed, but I actually was okay. I was just ready to go because I'm a person that's used to working on something, used to working on my clients, used to doing something. I'm not used to just sitting still and not doing nothing. That they literally just that quick, like, oh, you got to do this and you're in the hospital. And I was in the hospital for a whole week. And when I tell you, not only was I in the hospital for a whole week, but they were sticking me everywhere. I had IVs everywhere. Like, I look like I was a junkie by the time I left that hospital because my veins, by this point, they were sticking me so much, my veins were disappearing. Because I've never heard that I have hard veins, ever. This hospital stay, when it got towards the end, it was like, they were like, we can't find your veins. Like, they're disappearing. Then I had one cocky nurse. It was like, why did they put the IV right there? I can do it. I can do it this way. And she tried to do it and she jacked it up because the vein disappeared. Then she had to have somebody else come in there and help her. And by this time, I was so over it. I'm like, just the best thing about that hospital stay is that the food was good. It wasn't bad. But I was ready to go. They kept giving me different days to go. They had me meeting with infectious disease because, lie to you not, every single day they were perplexed on what was wrong other than meningitis. So they were trying to decipher if it was viral meningitis or if it was bacterial meningitis. And they diagnosed me, I feel like, with bacterial meningitis, but they really didn't have no proof. So as the days went on, a week in the hospital, every single day they watched the fluid that they took from my spine. And they said typically, I guess the fluid is supposed to grow something as they watch it under a microscope. It wasn't growing nothing. So they were perplexed. They were asking me all of these questions. Have you been hiking? Have you done this? Have you done that? Then they were trying to tell me that STDs can cause this. And I'm like, I don't have an STD. Well, they test me for STDs. I don't have no STDs. So it was just like all over the place of them trying to figure out because they were stumped. So with infectious disease, he's like, you know, he meets me over the video visit. He's asking me more questions. I've been in the hospital at this time 5 days. He's asking me more questions. He's like, yeah, it's very weird because it's not growing any bacteria or anything. So I'm just like, okay. But I can't remember if it was by day 3 or day 4. They had sent me for an MRI. And the doctor comes back in and they're so nonchalant. And I'm laying in the bed and he's like, oh, your MRI results came back and we found a condition called Chiari Malformation, which is your brain going into your spine. But when I tell you he flew by that like it wasn't nothing, he was like, we're not going to worry about it unless it bothers you. And he just left out the room. At that very moment, I started slightly getting into like a slight like little funk. And I stayed in that funk for about 3 hours. I'm gonna say I didn't want to see nobody. I didn't want nobody to visit me. Like I was trying to process what he told me. And I'm like, how could you tell me that my brain is going into my spine? And that is like just, it's not a big deal. So then me not being a doctor, I'm thinking, this could possibly be what is wrong because I'm having, the only symptoms I was having was the headache and the stiff neck. That's it. But they didn't look into it. They just like, oh, we found this in our MRI. We're going to leave it as it is. So fast forward to, I get released from the hospital a week later. My neck is still stiff. My headache, thank God, is better. But my neck is still stiff. They tell me, oh, that'll wear off in a couple days. It never wore off. So when I came home in October, I probably went through that pain with my stiff neck until December 2023. But I started looking on YouTube because I wanted to see who else had this condition, what they went through, So I followed up, I had my follow-up appointment with infectious disease in November. It was really no reason for me to go see infectious disease because it was nothing wrong with me on that level. But when I went to go meet with him at my visit, he was like, I think this is just a one-time occurrence, you know, you're blessed and whatever. And I'm just sitting here like, oh, okay. So I asked him at that time, can he refer me to a neurosurgeon? He said, well, my condition, the only way to fix it is surgery. So I asked him if he can refer me to a neurosurgeon. He told me he would, but he never did. In December, I followed up because I was just like, I can't stand feeling like this. Like, I'm a very busy person. This is not good. So in December, I followed up with Neuro Neurosurgical Center or something like that. And the only reason I'm giving their name is because I have nothing but good things to say about them. But reached out to them. They were able to get me in January. So January 2024, mind you, I'm still having my neck pain. This is from October to January. So I go to see them. When I go to see them, the doctor I end up getting there, I was not scared. I want to say I was a little bit more anxious because I don't know what to expect. But I went to go see him, and he talked to me, and his spirit was just so gentle. You could tell he knew what he was talking about. He gave me the risk of the surgery, which was cervical spinal fluid liquid leak or something like that. So he gave me my risk with the surgery, but he honestly told me that it can only get worse with time. It's not a situation where it's going to get better, it's going to get worse. Surgery is the only way to fix it. So me being me, I'm like, oh, okay, well, he's like, I'll leave it up to you. We can let you keep going through it and just see how you feel, or we can go ahead and move forward with the surgery. And obviously I opted for the surgery because I'm like, I'm about to be 40 this year. I cannot afford to just keep, like, it's miserable not knowing when the headache's gonna come, the neck stiffness, and it's gonna stay there. Like, I'm pushing through and I'm working, but this is not my best self, and I want to be my best self. So we pushed forward with the surgery. Probably like a couple weeks later, we scheduled my surgery for April 25th. Well, Lord and behold, a month later in February, I went out of town. As soon as I was headed back home, going to the airport, my neck was so bad, and I was like, Lord, I don't know how I'm gonna get on this plane. Like, this is gonna be uncomfortable. And this whole time I really wasn't taking no medicine. They prescribed me ibuprofen and a muscle relaxer, but I wasn't taking it because I was so sick of taking medication. Like, I was just like, no, this is not gonna work. So got back home. When I got back home, I was like, I tried to take it, but I was walking around the house with a heating pad tied around my neck, trying to help relieve some pain. By this time, I was taking muscle relaxers every single day. So I called my neurosurgeon, and he was like, yeah, the only thing that's gonna really help is if you can push your surgery up. Like, which makes sense to me. Fix the root of the problem. Like, no medication that they give me is gonna help it. Fixing the root will help it. Made sense to me. So me being me, I have clients. So I'm like, let me see when I can do my schedule to where I can actually not interrupt my schedule, because my neurosurgeon had already told me that the first 2 weeks I'm not gonna like him. So I believed him. But, so I was like, where I can at least have 2 weeks where I'm okay right now with my schedule look right now. So I had a bride, and I knew I was not canceling that bride. I don't care what I was feeling like, because I'm the type, I wouldn't have been able to sleep at night. No matter if I was needing to have brain surgery and really something was wrong with me, I wouldn't be able to sleep at night if I could not do that woman had for her wedding, the biggest day of her life. So, backtrack a little bit. My neurosurgeon made me feel a little bit better because his name was Dr. Corey. And I lost my brother, who his name is Corey. We were so tight. I mean, so tight. So when he said, hey, my name is Dr. Corey, I'm like, oh, cool. Like, it made me feel even better. So I said, all right, let's move this surgery up to March 21st. Now, my family and everything, they were calling to check on me leading up to surgery because they were trying to make sure I was okay. I'm not even gonna say weirdly or oddly enough, but I actually was okay. Like, I wasn't scared, I wasn't nervous, and I knew that was nothing but God. Like, I was more so ready for recovery to see what I was gonna feel like without this pain. Now, probably like a week before surgery, my mind started trying to, girl, you getting ready to have brain surgery, but I reverted it real quick. Like, I intentionally, a couple weeks before my surgery, was very strategic with who I spoke with, because sometimes people don't understand, like, the negativity that they're trying to spew into your ear gate. So I was very particular about who I spoke to. I was reading this book, The Power of Your Subconscious Mind. I was reading that, like, talking to God, as I always do. So I was actually really okay. So surgery day comes, and I actually did do some videos of myself, like, leading up to surgery, but I don't even know if I'm gonna release that. But surgery day came, had to be at the hospital 5:30 in the morning, and I don't really remember. They gave me general anesthesia. Surgery started at 7:30. I can't remember much. I don't even remember them. I slightly remember them telling me slide on the table once I got into the operating room, but I don't remember much. I remember waking up. Surgery was supposed to be, well, ain't was supposed to be. Surgery was 3 hours. And obviously I couldn't eat anything. I couldn't drink. Well, no. I couldn't eat anything after midnight. Drinking liquids, they wanted me to drink a 12-ounce Gatorade before 4:30 a.m. because they said I could still have clear liquids up to 4:30, but they wanted me to drink the Gatorade because they said that helps with hunger after surgery and something else. I had never heard that before. So surgery was 3 hours. My family said they came out and told them everything went great. Obviously, I'm not going to remember all that. But my family said they told them everything went great. So I remember just waking up in recovery, and I sat up and I feel like I was like, I can't breathe. And then I just remember going back out. Then I remember waking up in ICU with the oxygen thing up my nose, which I told the nurse to take it out because for me that was just too much. But literally from that moment, I bought my I had bought my laptop and my book with me to the hospital because I just knew I was gonna get up from surgery, I was gonna have visitors, I was gonna be okay. No, that did not happen. I didn't want to see nobody. And I'm the type of person that never put my phone on Do Not Disturb. I had my phone on Do Not Disturb because, of course, and I'm so grateful for my support system. Everybody was checking on me, wanting to check on me and make sure I was okay. But when I tell you it was horrible, like, I told them people I had to throw up. The nurse, I felt like they were moving at a snail's pace. I don't like throw up. And I didn't even realize they had the little, I don't even know what you want to call it, but the little paper on my pillow. She was like, go ahead. And she held it up and she just wanted me to just turn right there and just let it all out. I'm like, disgusting. But that's how I had to do it. I had to throw up that way. So I remember throwing up, and me jerking from throwing up irritated the back of my head. I will say, like, that was painful. Once I threw up, the rest of that first day was pretty much me resting and sleeping. No visitors. Like, I knew nobody wanted to see me like that. And heck, I didn't even want to see myself like that. But it was resting. I feel like by the second day, I still had headaches. But I could feel that my headaches I was experiencing before surgery was from my condition, but I could tell that the headaches I was experiencing now was from what they did to me. So the doctor explained to me that they clamped my head, okay? They clamped my head so that my head doesn't move during surgery. So I was definitely feeling the headaches right here and in the back of my head. I was like, well, y'all were clamping for dear life because I had to wake up. But I mean, I guess they had to do what they had to do. But the headaches has been the worst since surgery. And like I said, I'm 3 weeks out from surgery now, 3 weeks post-op. And the headates for the first week, I wouldn't say I didn't like my neurosurgeon. I didn't think about it in a way like I don't like him, but I definitely did not feel good. The first week, I didn't want to do nothing. Like, I just laid in the bed. They wanted me to take it easy. No lifting, no bending. Like the simplest things. Me walking from my bed to my living room, and my bed is on the first floor. Like, they had me do that as a task the first week. Oh, backtrack. They had physical therapy. I had surgery on Thursday. They had physical therapy in my room on Friday to get me up. They released me from the hospital on Saturday. So I was in the hospital for 2 days. And I'm gonna insert some pictures of what my incision looked like. Dr. Corey did a really good job. You can tell that he's very into what he does, and I love and I appreciate that. I just kept looking at the situation like God knew already that this was gonna happen. And when I tell you, he set up the best of the best to have hands on me and to get me back right. When I went for my pre-op appointment, that nurse, she was like, oh, you have the best, and I'm shortening it up, but she was like, I've seen people come from as far as Hawaii for Dr. Corey to work on them. And I'm like, wow. But I'm like, thank you, God. So I think a lot of me not being fearful was because I knew God had me. Like, to me, this was a surprise, but to God, it wasn't a surprise. He already knew. And they said, Chiari Malformation, this is something that you're born with. And so I was born with it, but it wouldn't present itself until possibly my 20s, 30s, or maybe even 40s. And I mean, I guess it kind of makes sense because your brain is growing. And this is just like, I'm going to try to insert a picture of my actual MRI images. Hopefully I can pinpoint what is what, but my brain is going into my spine. So they had to remove a piece of my C1 in my spine, and a piece of my skull they had to remove to allow my brain more space. So when they tell you everything that they do and they have to do, it makes sense on why I am experiencing the pain I'm having to experience. Now, by week 2, I was kind of up and going. Even though I had my moments, me being me, I was trying to cook. I did my hair, which wasn't bad because my daughter helped me. Like, my daughter helped me do my hair. She helped me shampoo it, blow dry, braid it down. And then I installed my wig. But I could tell that had I shampooed my hair, braided it down, all of that good stuff, it just would have been too much. So I went and got my nails and my feet done. This was exactly 2 weeks after surgery, and yeah, that was the worst experience ever. Like, something as simple as getting your nails and your feet done, you wouldn't think would be so painful, but it was very painful. The pedicure chair was painful. Me sitting getting my nails done was painful. I was ready for them to be done, but it probably was because I did not need to do all of that in one day. I went and got my eyebrows done the day before. That was not too bad because maybe it's not a long service. But I will say something, once they told me that I had Chiari Malformation, something I noticed and paid attention to, because I'm sitting there thinking like, well, what signs did I possibly have that I had this condition? And the only thing that kind of comes to mind is that whenever I would laugh too hard, my head would hurt on the sides, like sharp pain. So I couldn't laugh too hard because I would have to immediately stop. That's really the only thing that I can think of that I did or that I experienced. But other than that, I can't really think of anything else that I experienced. Now, I do remember one time having a thought when I experienced those sharp pains, like something's not right. But I did not go get it checked out. And one thing I will say is health is wealth. And like, I'm so big on taking care of my health, like knowing what's going on with my body. And I feel like there's a time for everything. October was just the time for me to find out that I have this condition, and you're going to have brain surgery. And after surgery, I kind of just kept getting irritated with everybody telling me, Tanika, you just had brain surgery. You need to do this. You just had brain surgery. Don't do this. So irritating, because I'm like, if nobody else knows, I know that I had brain surgery because I'm the one feeling it. I'm the one going through it. But I would say, if you are experiencing like those type of things to the extreme with your head, it doesn't hurt to get it checked out. I remember my pre-op nurse, she had just so happened to tell me that her doctor just diagnosed her with it, and she was turning 40 this year. But she was like, oh, it doesn't bother me. But then she was like, hold up, wait, I have been having headaches since I was a kid, and I don't know if that's per se due to the Chiari Malformation or not. I can only speak on my experience. So now, 3 weeks out, it's a little bit better. I will say today is Friday. Today's Friday. I will say Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, I have been in the bed. And the reason I've been in the bed is because I haven't been feeling good. My head has been hurting. And I just had to go back to taking my medicine how they prescribed it because I was being hard-headed. They like take the medication every 4 hours. I'm so sick of taking medicine. When I was in this hospital the last time, they were giving me morphine. I can't even remember what else. When I came home, they sent me home with oxycodone. But the good thing I like is that they only giving me 5-day supply. They're not giving me no 30-day supply, which I'm cool with because I don't like taking medicine. But I do want to be comfortable. So I've been trying to push myself to like with Lux 7, I have them, I've done one client so far since surgery, which they told me to wait a month to go to back to doing hair. But they like listen to your body as well. So this is a long journey ahead of me. They did say it could possibly be a year before I really see the results of surgery. And I'm looking forward to that because this has not been fun. I'm a person that laugh. Lord knows I laugh. But to laugh and to have those headaches, so I have to stop immediately, no fun. for me to, it's like the slightest thing right now. It's like the most, I know that coming out of this surgery and recovery, I'll never be the same. Like I will never be the same way at all, because I feel like every life experience you come out different, or you should, for your good. I will say that God is more than amazing. I don't take it for granted that I'm 3 weeks out of surgery. And overall, I've been, minus the headaches, I've been good. Like, I know that's God. Like, you know, for me to be able to get out of the hospital in 2 days when they originally said 3. For me to look at my wound, like the way that it's healing is nothing but God. For me to just be able to do, I was able to cook. You know, my support system, they were like, we're going to cook for you, you know, bring meals to the house. And they did. My support system did absolutely amazing my first week. I don't know what I would do without my support system. They really did good. The only thing now is focusing on my blood pressure staying down, because that's one thing the doctor told me. I got to keep my blood pressure down, because that's, I don't know if it's cervical spinal leak or something about a spinal leak. And I'm going to put that on the screen too so I can correctly have it for you. But my blood pressure being high can threaten that happening. And that's the number one thing they don't want to happen. They do not want any spinal fluid leaking. So outside my wound, it's like God definitely, he healed me to the point nobody will ever be able to know that I had brain surgery unless I tell them. And that's a beautiful thing. Like, I don't look like what I've been through, but baby, I've been through it, and I feel like a baby right now, or I feel like a person. I thank God that it isn't that way, but I feel like a person that's learning how to walk again, you know, because the simplest things that we take for granted, I can't do right now, you know, like I'm having to slowly, gradually go back into what I was doing. Me doing my makeup, like I just felt so without my hair done, makeup, nails done. So I did my makeup one day. This was 2 weeks in. And this hand right here, when I was doing my eyebrows, this hand right here was shaking so bad. And I immediately was like, oh my God. But my doctor just keeps telling me everything I keep telling him that's happening with me. He's like, you just had brain surgery. It's normal. You know, your muscles need 4 to 6 weeks to heal. We went in there, used the saw. They did so much that I cringed when he explained it to me. Like, that is a lot. My body has definitely went through trauma. So I'm only expecting, you know, recovery time, they say, is 3 months. I'm expecting for these weeks coming that I only feel better and better. The headaches are expected to last for weeks. We don't know how many weeks, we shall see. But I feel like once these headaches are gone, I'll at least be okay. My body has still went through trauma, but I'll at least be okay. And so I know that I'm probably gonna have to break this story time up into a couple videos, because maybe, or maybe I won't. I don't know. We'll see. But I'm definitely like, this is a story time that was needed, because you just never know what a person is going through, or what a person has been through. So I just feel like we should be kind to everybody. And thank God for, no matter what our story is, I always say, God God is for us. He's not against us. Jeremiah 29:11. Like, he knows the plans he had for us. And even though this right here, I've cried sometimes because it's just like, whew, I've cried that first week when, you know, my family members were trying to help me just sit up in the bed. I thank God for my Sleep Number mattress because it helps. But even, you know, my family members trying to sit me up, all I could do was whisper Jesus, because the pain is real. But it's like, Tanika, you can do this. You got this. I'm trying to think, like, I did not eat. I didn't have an appetite. So I lost 13 pounds in like a matter of a week because I didn't have an appetite. They said that the pain medication took my appetite away. I never knew pain medication could do that, but it did. So I couldn't eat. I will say after surgery, my taste buds changed. Like anything, I feel like more so red. Cause like ketchup, somebody made some kind of chicken. It wasn't red. I can't really pinpoint what, but in my mouth, it tasted, I don't want to say spicy, but very different to where I didn't like it. After surgery, before surgery, I was drinking Mountain Dew, and Lord knows my relationship with Mountain Dew. I have been battling that, like, let it go. I don't drink as much as I used to, but after surgery, I didn't like the taste of Mountain Dew. Like, I wanted water and Gatorade, probably because I was dehydrated. But I can't really think. This eye right here has some stuff going on with it. But like I said, overall, God is good. I know that I'm gonna be all right. But I wanted to do this story time because I feel like it's so important. I went straight to YouTube as soon as they told me, because I'm like, I feel like we look to YouTube for everything now. And I went straight to YouTube because I was like, oh, somebody else has went through this that's going to give me a thorough understanding of what I'm facing, what to expect. I will say that the surgery is worth it. We're 3 weeks post surgery now. So I'm going to come back and update y'all. But as of right now, I feel like it's worth it. I feel like the pain is worth it. I feel like nothing worth having in life comes with nothing. I feel like you have to go through some things in life. And so I wouldn't take it back. I wouldn't take back anything I've had experienced, because it gives me a whole nother different level of stress. Or not a different level of stress, strength, to be able to overcome anything that I go through. And when I tell you, I'm so confident that I just had brain surgery. So I'm so confident that no matter what I go through, I'm going to overcome it. I'm going to be victorious. And it's all because of God. Like, it's not because of me. Because this little me, I would cry at the most slightest of things when I was younger, when I was in my early 20s. Like, I would cry over anything. And it's just like, now I'm about to be 40 in about 5 months, and I'm not even going to say that God put me through, but the enemy has definitely tried to destroy me, try to discourage me. And God has allowed me to go through these things, because his reason in allowing me to go through it is because he know that it's going to create a different beast in me. He know, like, come on, Tanika, it's going to strengthen you even more. And so I think about all those things when I'm going through this, like, this is going to strengthen me, you know. But it's like, going through this And I feel like a lot of the things that I've went through, I've always wished that I had somebody close to me that has experienced the things that I have experienced, but I haven't. I think the only person close to me that has experienced brain surgery is my 93-year-old Nene. True woman of God. But I can't really go to my Nene because even at her age, her experience is different, because I feel like she had a brain tumor and had brain surgery at, I feel like she was in her 80s. I could be wrong, but her experience in her 80s having brain surgery is so different from my experience at 39. Our bodies are different. But it's okay, because I always say, I want to be that person for my people. You know what I'm saying? To be a living proof and a testimony of what I've came through. I don't just speak about God all the time. I don't just, God is good, da da da. I really walk this life. Like, I walk this life, and I know that God is pleased. Like, even though I'm going through this, I dare not go against God and talk bad about him, or God, why are you doing this to me? Like, I dare not do it. It's part of my life. It's a part of my journey. And I know it's for my better good. So I really hope that this little story time helps someone that may go through this. I pray that nobody has to go through it. But anybody who goes through it and have to have, Lord knows that surgery is a long name. Okay, it's something cervical decompression. Not even gonna try to fake it for you. I'm gonna put that also up there so that y'all can see the name. But as I'm on this journey, because like I said, 3 months is not enough time for my body to heal. Like, my body truly needs to heal. So I'm going to come up, do a story time update. Like I said, my main reason in doing this is because there's people out there that see me on social media and might feel like I don't go through nothing. They may feel like, this girl don't go through nothing at all. Like, her life just seems so perfect. It is not. Like, when I tell you I go through the most, and I joked about it years ago because I was like, man, I feel like when I go through stuff, it is just like sucker punch in my chest, take my air out. Like, but I feel like when other people go through stuff, it's just like, okay, they go through stuff, they hurt, they get over it. Me, I feel like, are you kidding me? Like, I can't even, had I been doing this years ago, story time of the stuff that I've been going through or I've been through, a lot of people wouldn't even believe it. Because you see me on social media, yeah, I'm never gonna speak on it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just that type. I'm not going to speak on it because I've always been that type, like, just go through it, get through it, grow through it. Ain't no reason to complain. But now I'm at an age where I want to share, when I'm going through something, because I understand that me going through something is glory to glory. Me going through something is not for me, it's for somebody else. Me going through something is for God to get the glory, because these people are seeing like, oh, she made it. So I want to do these story times now. I want to do these story times and just be real. And I did like a little, not YouTube, Instagram, like, stories. I mean, I guess you can call it a testimony. And the feedback I got back was like, Tanika, this is what God wants you to do, And so, not gonna lie, before I did this story time, I was gonna do my makeup, get all dressed and all that, because that's just me. I'm a girly girl. I love to get dressed up. I love to do my makeup. But I said, you know what? It's a time and a place for everything. Right now, I just need to be honest. I just need to be me in the bare and just get it out there. Like today and yesterday, yesterday, and the day before, I have had a day. Do you hear me? I've been in the bed actually all day. But this is what I love to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just love helping other people. You know, reading my emails and all of that stuff. I'm trying my hardest to respond to people. My family and stuff, they all come from a good place. They like, Tanika, sit down. Don't do this. Don't do that. But they don't understand. I'm building Lux 7. No days off. Like, if I feel just a tad bit okay, I'm pushing through. I'm responding to emails. I'm updating the website. I'm strategizing on, you know, what I need to do, whether it's go back from ground zero and build it up. You know, I'm not your typical person. I'm not your average person. And I don't say that cocky. I say that humbly, because I know what God has shown to me and what he told me. So I have a responsibility to do, no matter how I feel. So the next story time, and Holy Spirit definitely gave me some more energy for this video. Because when I tell you, I was like, no, I'm not doing it today. But literally, I jumped up and I was like, get this video out today. Get this video out today. Get it on your channel today. Because you don't know who's waiting for it. I don't care if it's one person. Get it out there. So, next story time. Because Lord knows I be having some story times. I don't know what it's going to be. I'm going to try to stay consistent with it, because my life is always something for me to story tell. But I just want to thank all of my supporters, my true supporters that are by my side. The ones that I don't even know about, you know, that are rooting for me. I'm not a person to pray for prayers, because I don't know who people are praying to. So you're never going to see me say, pray for me. I don't know what God you're praying to. But for the prayers that have been sent my way to the one true living God that sent Jesus Christ on this earth to be crucified on the cross for our sins, I thank every one of y'all that have sent those prayers, because I feel them. When I tell you I feel them, and I know that's what have gotten me through, as well as just God having his hand on me, just God being within me. I know those prayers have gotten me through. So thank y'all for keeping me in y'all mind, on your hearts. And this too shall pass. And like I said, I'll be back, and I'll be better than ever. Back and better than ever. So I pray that y'all have a blessed day. And like I said, if you have not subscribed to my channel, please do. Please do, because I'm definitely going to be authentic, posting stuff, getting out my shell and my comfort zone. But toodles, y'all have a great Friday and a great weekend.